Hi and welcome to my channel. It's Rebecca, also known as 4Kids at 147, and today is the time to get my Ever Moment custom multi-panel framed and up on the wall. Let's hope they both happen. So I have a piece of A2 foam board because I do have at least two pieces on here that need the height to be able, they won't fit on a piece of A4. I do also have two smaller ones. I do have some A4 foam board in case I need to use that. If anyone saw yesterday's video, I had a revamp of my storage boxes. I may have made some changes since then. I sort of got carried away, so do stay tuned. I will revamp them. Well, I will show you what I've done and give you, the tips next Saturday. I've sort of done two. I need to do the third. And yeah, I thought I'll wait, get these mounted, and then I'll do a video showing you what I've done there. So if you like seeing the spare storage, do stay tuned for that. But I need to get this done because I want it up on the wall. I spent enough on it, it needs to be done. So I have 4 canvases, I have foam board, and then I'm going to use this that I've used before to mount onto foam board. I've used it for a few. I used it for the one in my craft room, but this is just a permanent adhesive spray from Hobbycraft. I'm hoping I have enough. If not, I am filming this on the Saturday, so it will be a mad dash trip to Hobbycraft to get some more. This video will go up. First thing I do need to do though is cut them out. It kind of feels a shame because these canvases from Ever Moment are gorgeous. They have got all the crimped edge and everything, but it won't work leaving it there. So first things first is to go round the edge of all of these and basically get it down to the picture. So yeah, I started filming this morning for my spare storage video and this one, thinking, oh, that won't take me too long to do today. And then I've spent all my time doing my spare storage. I was like, I need to get this done. One, it's a gorgeous day in the UK. It's supposed to be nice tomorrow as well, but I don't know how quick I'm going to get it up on the wall. It will be in this video for you guys. So my plan is to get this done, get this all mounted on the foam board and cut out, and then I'll get it up on the wall today and potentially take a video of it, or a video of it up on the wall in the morning before this gets uploaded. So you guys will see everything in the same video. But I'll have to see what the lighting's like in the conservatory by the time I'm finished. And make sure hubby's cleared his desk. Though I need to clear stuff off his desk because I also work using his desk, so we both make a mess of said desk. But first things first, these need to go on the foam board so that I can cut them out, which is going to be fun. I feel like all I've done this weekend so far between the spare storage and this is cut foam board. But that's okay. But look at how amazing these look from a distance. You can truly see. I think this is going to look really good. And this isn't the biggest one that they do. In this multi-panel custom, in the shape configuration that I've got, they do a few different configurations depending on what your picture is, will depend on which one will look best. I've actually got the smaller one of the two. And the reason for that is due to the length of this middle. if I'd have gone for the bigger one, it wouldn't have fit right on my wall. It's not very often that I order a diamond painting for a space and use a tape measure. But in this instance, I did. And it's a good job, because I would have gone for the bigger one, because, you know, detail is often better in a bigger one. So the ideal step would have been go bigger. It'll look better. Not on my wall, it wouldn't have done. It wouldn't have fit. So it would have been a waste of a lot of money. But, I mean, with this, you could cut round it and just stick it to the wall flat. You can often get framers to frame it and actually use mount board in between the images, but the cost of that is possibly not cheap. They're going to have to do quite a bit of messing about to, you know, mount it right so that everything lines up. But I have done a multi-panel before on foam board. One that I did when Megan had her flat. She had one up on the wall on mount board. And the trees one, the yellow trees that I did, are they yellow? Yeah, they've got yellow. The trees that I did that are in my craft room above my door, I also did those on mount board. And they look really good. So I'm hoping it will be the same with these. If not, I suppose I could always look to getting it professionally framed or mounted, but then it's always the question, is it a frame per piece with a thin edge, or do you get it mounted and have, you know, maybe a fancier frame around the outside of it all? But then if you get a frame around the outside of it all, are you taking away from the fact that it's different shapes and sizes? Too many questions for my liking. So I'm going for mount board. I think it's still going to look good. But I'll let you guys be the judge of that when it is all done and dusted. Last one to cut out now, and I can sort of get it all configured where I need to go to get the best out of my foam board. Scissors are getting sticky because of the residue of tape. Okay, so all the edges are cut off. That one actually fits, oh, they both fit that way. Oh, even better. Because they fit that way, I'm going to be able to fit all four of them on. So I'm going to be able to fit all four of them on this piece of A board, A2 foam board. I am leaving a gap, but that's just because I think it will be more manageable to do a rough cut and then do a nice cut around the foam board afterwards. I might use some of these nice edges just to save myself a little bit of a job, because sometimes these corners are not quite as nice, though that one's not too bad. Maybe I'll switch it over, try and get those two when I stick them down lined up there, and it will mean two cuts for the gap here, but I figured that would be better than trying to cut it there. And I don't want them lined up on this. The lining up will happen afterwards. Use that edge, maybe use that edge for the bottom, and then I can use these offcuts that I will end up having where to finish up my storage boxes in next week's video with my sort of extra changes. Okay, I'm happy that they all fit. So this stuff, they do suggest that you do it in a very well ventilated area. So while today is nice, I am going to go and do this outside on the patio table. But what do they say? Shake it thoroughly, 15 to 20 centimetres away. It does say to do on one surface only, which I do. I tend to do it on the back of the diamond painting itself, just because that's the more porous surface than this is. You leave it until it gets tacky, and then you press it down onto both surfaces. So I'm going to go do that, and then I'll come back inside with this all stuck, and we can get to actually cutting them out and seeing what they look like all together. I'm purposely not putting them all together yet, so I'll speak to you in a moment. Okay, so after filming the last bit, I promptly went outside to spray and found that my spray adhesive had run out completely. I don't know who used it last. I don't think it was when I last used it. I'm pretty sure one of the kids did use it, but I can't name who it was. So hubby was out, so I got him to get me another one. He got me a 400 ml one. However, this one didn't spray in the same way. Thank goodness I have Goo Gone. Otherwise, my poor patio table would have had a fit, because I lay it initially on this foam board thinking if there's any extra it will go on here, and I had the big one right in the middle and it went everywhere. Anyway, I digress. They are now stuck, or at least I think they're now stuck. I'm hoping that I've used enough. I ended up spraying it on the grass to get it to stick, but I can definitely cut them out, and if I do find that any are loose, I'll go out and try and get it that way. So the next thing I need to do is sort of cut these other pieces around the foam board. So what I'm doing is I've got my craft knife sort of on a thick setting. Well, at the moment, this one, I've got it basically as long as it can be. And I'm just going through it, but I'm using the edge of the diamonds as a straight edge. I'm going to see if it will come off if I've got through it enough. Nearly. I am sort of cutting it on a slight angle inwards, so that it is on a slight angle there. I'm not even sure if the camera is going to pick it up. Ever so slight, but that's so that I don't have any showing over the top. So that side's done, because I have sort of overhung the edges here just ever so slightly, so that again I'm not seeing loads of bits of foam board. So let's try this way. Just need to be careful with this bit, because I think my foam board is longer than my cutting mat. Okay, so that's pretty much got through the top layer and the foam. It's then getting through that bottom layer. And sometimes you can get through it straight away, and sometimes it needs another pass. So that one needed another pass. So we have a couple of bits where, of course, got my knife going in the second time has hit a different piece of foam, but I can always take a file to that afterwards if I need to. The idea is I just want it raised from the wall just a little bit, and then I will stick these up with command strips. So let's try the next big one. And I say I'm just using the actual diamonds. I'm actually running sort of the top of my craft knife over them. It gives me just that little angle. Has that cut all the way? Thing is, I can't tell because I've not cut this top part. Let me cut this top part. Okay, how's that done? Nearly. Now what you can do is you can sort of bend it and then cut through the rest, which can sometimes stop you cutting the foam a second time. And I can always neaten that up with like a file afterwards. So that one went straight through. Let's see if we can do the same with this one. Push down a little bit harder. My craft mat's probably not going to like it, but that's what it's there for. Need to take care on the corners because I don't want to lose any of my diamonds on the corners. Though, if you saw my dekitting of this, I have plenty of extras should it be required. You can just see a little bit of white still on this top section, so I'm just going to use my craft knife again just to try and file that top section down a little bit. It gets very fluffy, but oh no, there's another pair here. Not quite got it enough, so not quite got it close enough to the diamonds, and it left a little white bit. I mean, the wall that this is going on is a light colour, but it's not white. It's white with a very, very hint of green. So if I do find that any of it is sort of showing up more, then I will trim it again. Just getting rid of the fluffy bits, but it's not very often at all. In fact, I don't even know, without standing behind my craft room door, couldn't quite get to the wall to actually look at this edge anyway. So that's two. I can actually feel the adhesive on this bit. So it did hit this board partly, it just hit everywhere else at the same time. Now for this piece, I'm doing it hard enough to hopefully get all the way through, but I'm going to do the two sides to see if it will pull apart. It's not quite done one side or the other. There's no bending it to determine which. Let's just give them another go. Oh, I felt something give then. Oh, look. See, I had got through the other side. I've just not quite got through that side. So let's cut off this edge. Very nice. Okay, last one. So let's again go for these two edges. These diamonds are staying on really, really well. I sort of expected when I'm cutting through it to have, I'm going to cut through this way just because that angle with being right-handed seems to be the best angle to do it at. There we go. So let's discard the sticky piece of foam board, which I might use for revamping my spare storage. I might not while it's covered in gunk. There. It's that easy. Most of these edges do seem stuck. There's a little bit there that might not be. But what I can always do is just put a little, in fact I've got some here. I'm just going to put a little square of double-sided tape in this corner where it's not quite stuck, because the double-sided tape is not as ideal as the permanent adhesive, but it does work. And I think if that corner can't peel back, the rest is stuck with permanent adhesive, so it's going to work fine. So let's have a look at the finished piece on my desk, and then I will show it you all up on the wall. So that was that way. So it was here. So I'm trying to sort of line it up with, try and get it straight to my camera. It's sort of the horizon. Is that what we, so if I buff it up together, is that one actually further up? That one's further up than I thought. There we go. That looks right. So I've got buildings joined up here, and I've sort of gone by the light line here. And then on this one, I've actually gone by this building. And the top of this building is actually those two diamonds. And then on this one, it's sort of a mixture of the two. I've got some, maybe it's there. No. A little bit further down. I think this might be one that I have to stand back on. But I've got some peachy here, and I've got some sort of different colours here. But it's not a prominent building, it's a in the distance building. So it can be a little bit hard to tell. I don't think it goes down that far. No, that definitely looks weird. I think it goes there. I think I need to line up these two, or maybe, no, maybe there, and I go with those light two. I think I'm gonna have to just do some double check. But having said that, as soon as they've got a gap and we put them apart, I don't think you're going to notice anywhere near as much. So that is my Ever Moment multi-panel on the skew by the looks of the camera. I'm going to get this stuck up on the wall with command strips, and we get to look at Sydney while we're working. I'll speak to you on the bit. So it is now up. That is probably the quickest a picture has ever gone up in this house. But just a quick overview, it's just in the corner near computer. I've just kicked hubby off the computer. And then we've got the roof at the top with our Christmas-ish garland that we like and has never come down. But yeah, now while we work, we can look at Sydney. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll speak to you all again soon.